Chapter 6, Dream of the Red Chamber 5. Nan Hoa did not know how Lu Shi would react to this matter, so knowing Jia family's intentions, she still called Huni and went to Ronghua Mansion. Entering the door, the entire family of women were waiting in the room. When she entered, Nan Hoa had the feeling of being in a courtroom. The few people together said some intimate words, and teased Huni, who understood things quite a bit. Lu Shi pulled Huni's hand and first said goodbye. Daughter-in-law hasn't seen Huni for a long time, mother will let me be idle for a while, and be with Huni. Jia's mother laughed and chased her away, knowing that you miss your son, you should bring Lian Ni along too, so that the two of them can play together. Lu Shi smiled and said to Nan Hoa, little sister hasn't come for a long time, remember to come find me later, how long has it been since we sisters had a good talk? If you don't come, I won't even give you anything good. Nan Hoa pulled Lu Shi's hand and agreed. She knew, this was to tell her, the family's eldest brother also did not care about this outside matter. Seeing that Lu Shi had left, Wang Shi sat down feeling a little embarrassed. But she felt that she had the right to sit here. The eldest house had no daughter, so she was naturally happy to be a good person. But what about her daughter who was just in diapers? The daughter of Jia Manor had no reputation, so how would Yuan Chun get married in the future? The mother did not want her daughter-in-law to see her daughter's ridicule, so she opened her mouth and chased the person away. Second daughter-in-law, there is nothing more for you here, you can go back. Wang Shi stuttered, not wanting to miss this opportunity, in the end seeing that Jia mother really did not intend to keep her, only then did she leave. Just walked up, in the end she still said a sentence. Little sister also heard mother say more, no matter what, you are still Jia family's young lady. Although Jia's mother was angry, she still agreed with what she said. In this matter, she also felt that her daughter was wrong. After everyone left, Jia's mother went straight to the point, these past few years, I've been advising you to see a physician more. You always felt that I talked too much and was unhappy. Look, something has happened now. My husband and I know each other, if we are not sick, why should we see a physician? Nan Hoa did not agree. No problem, how come you still don't have a child after so many years? Jia's mother was anxious. Also, tell me the truth today, why is that concubine still childless? Is it really you? Nan Hoa has never told anyone about her situation in the mansion, so ordinary people think that Lin Ruhai is like all the men in this world, there are always concubines in the house. During gatherings, Nan Hoa also talks about everything, and will not say directly that her husband does not have concubines. But in reality, Lin Ruhai did not mention this matter, and Nan Hoa absolutely would not arrange it. Mother, what are you saying? How can I do this kind of cruel thing? Jia's mother was surprised. That said, could it be that the son-in-law? Nan Hoa didn't want to discuss this kind of husband and wife matter. Mother, we really don't have any problems, what kind of intentions do people outside have? Don't you know when father was still alive? But it's true that you haven't had a child for many years, I'm also worried for you. You listen to me, I still want to see an imperial physician, I heard that the daughter-in-law of an old sister also hasn't had a child for many years, I specifically asked for the prescription, you take it and try it. You also prepare a good person for your husband, if the Lin family doesn't have one, I have one here, honest and dutiful, good-looking, men are all like this. Don't wait for your husband to open his mouth, if you wait for him to be dissatisfied with you, it will be too late. Nan Hoa held the medicine in her hand and couldn't help but smile bitterly. Jia's mother said that from her perspective, everything was indeed for her daughter's sake, but sometimes it was this ignorance that actually harmed her daughter. Mother, I know what you said. The Lin family originally did not have an easy time having an heir, and Ruhai himself felt that it was normal. Don't worry, we will handle it well. There was no way to explain with the adults who had ancient concepts deeply imprinted in their minds, so Nan Hoa could only pretend to seriously agree. Since Jia's mother left the room, Nan Hoa was really tired. Previously, Jia Min was advised by everyone, including her mother. She was living a good life, but one day it became a miserable life. Lu Shi saw her face full of fatigue, and smiled understandingly. Mother's concern will cause confusion, little sister doesn't need to take it to heart. You guys just have a good life, don't need to pay attention to those idle words. Nan Hoa was surprised. Lucia was the only person who had the same ideas as her and could see through her. Lucia saw her surprised and smiled. Don't look at me helping your eldest brother have a few concubines. That's also because I know he has this intention. If you can't control it, then just ignore it. But if your husband doesn't have that intention, then don't bury yourself in a hole. In my opinion, the lives you two are living right now, even the gods and immortals envy you. Nan Hoa also relaxed and smiled, very emotional. I didn't think that the only person who understood me was my sister-in-law. It's a pity that you left early in the previous life, leaving Jia Min with no one to support her. Through this incident, Nan Hoa and Lucia became even closer. At first, there was a sister-in-law relationship, but now there was a bit of sisterly affection. She was already heartbroken that Lucia had such a heart and met a husband like Jia Shi, and admired her decisive and optimistic. If he has no heart, I will leave him. After visiting her eldest sister-in-law, Nan Hoa was in a good mood. The two of them talked until it got dark. Lucia kept her for dinner. After finishing the meal, Nan Hoa returned home. Just returned to her room, saw that the maid who stayed in the room today had a strange expression, wanted to say something to her but was hesitant to say it. When she entered the room, she saw Lin Ruhai looking at her with a guilty expression. Nan Hoa looked around. There were 4 maids in the past, only 3 were here, and 1 was not. Her heart skipped a beat, but she had not yet reacted. Lin Ruhai saw Nan Hoa return, happy in his heart, holding her hand tightly and worriedly asked, "Why did you come back so late today? Is there something wrong?" Nan Hoa secretly observed his expression. He was indeed filled with heartache. She shook her head. "No, it's just that my mother is worried about our bodies. Give me a prescription." Lin Ruhai felt even more heartbroken and guilty. "Min Ni, it's all my fault." Nan Hoa pressed his hand down. "How can this be blamed on you? It was this petty person who caused trouble, and to be more strict, I really do have a problem." Lam Nu Hai shook his head. "It was my colleague who affected your reputation. It was my fault." Nan Hoa heard that it was not what she thought, so she asked, "So you are full of guilt today, because of this?" Lin Ruhai nodded in shame. "As a man, your husband could not protect you, shield you from the wind and rain, but instead caused you to be criticized by everyone. I am truly ashamed." Nan Hoa couldn't help but laugh. "Husband and wife share the same fate. What's so guilty about this? I thought you..." Lin Ruhai was touched, but wondered what she thought. "What do you think I'm doing? Today, mother also mentioned to me, if I am unable to give birth, I should have found a few good concubines for you earlier. That said, even my upright second brother loves beauty. I don't know if you have thought about it long ago. I also never considered it. It is really a big mistake." Nan Hoa teased him. Lin Ruhai's face turned red. "Nonsense. I never thought of that." "Really not think about it?" Lam Nu Hai almost jumped up. "Heaven and earth can testify. There is really no..." Nan Hoa's face was serious. "Where is that Xian Thursday?" Lin Ruhai was surprised. How did you know?" Nan Hoa looked, and sure enough, something happened. "I came back and didn't see that maid." "You still had a guilty expression and dazed eyes." "How would I know? That girl has great ambitions. At that time I was angry, so I kicked her hard. Find someone better." "You should not be sad because of this kind of slave." Nan Hoa laughed. It turned out, Lin Ruhai felt that he had hurt her servant, so he was afraid that she would get angry. However, this girl Xian Thursday, in the past, really couldn't see that she was such a person. Lin Ruhai pulled her and said sincerely, "Min Ni, our Lin family has always had difficulty having a successor. This is not your problem. On the contrary, I am ashamed of you. Other than today's incident with Xian Thursday, I have nothing else to truly apologize you," mother-in-law said. "You don't need to take it to heart. I Lin Ruhai have never thought about it in the past, and will never think about it in the future." Nan Hoa naturally believed him, especially after the Xian Thursday incident. After finishing, Nan Hoa also asked the reason. Outside, there were idle words, but inside the mansion, people's hearts were moving. Xian Thursday was beautiful, and she was very obedient, so she had some ambition. Today, Lin Ruhai was worried about his wife and returned early, but he didn't expect that Nan Hoa had gone to her mother's house. Xian Thursday, who had stayed at home, told him to help him change his clothes, wash his face, and comb his hair. In fact, at that time, Nan Hoa had already passed on the message that she would be staying at Ronghua Mansion for dinner. Lin Ruhai didn't know the situation, so he agreed. Who would have thought that this maid first wanted to help him take off his clothes, but her hands kept moving. Before he could react, he kicked her away. Shan Thursday was dragged out. He sat in the inner room feeling both guilty and guilty. He hadn't even eaten yet, still waiting for Nan Hoa to return. Nan Hoa was both touched and amused. Outside, because of the prince's growth, all kinds of bloody struggles, rumors about their husband and wife also flew everywhere. Inside the house, they basically didn't care about these things, closing the door to live their own lives, and because of that, they had love and adversity. Their feelings became even more profound and trusting. Jia's family has Lucia in charge. Jia's mother, even though she doesn't approve of her daughter's actions, she won't let people say her daughter is not good, and everything will be fine. As summer came, the south experienced storms and heavy rains, covering countless fields. The common people were in great distress, so no one cared about the private affairs of an official.